If you'll come with me today on this adventurous journey, from these intense experiences, we'll distill out how you can cultivate a resilient mindset for facing change, challenge, and uncertainty. So let's see what Mount Everest and other big mountains can teach us about overcoming adversity and still reaching high goals.
You're going to have to grow into someone who can take on this challenge and this opportunity. And that transformation brings big power.
There might have been 2 avalanches. Can't tell.
Just harrowing. And joining me now on the phone from Everest is mountain climber Jim Davidson, who's stranded on Mount Everest at this point.
And if you get in a tough situation, you want to try and add to the team's resilience, not subtract from it. And that means a couple things. First of all, you're going to have situational awareness. Absolutely, fear is contagious, but so is confidence. And you want to be the one that injects some confidence into the team. Now, that doesn't mean you have all the answers or that the situation's not scary or difficult. What it means is you have confidence that your partners and you can somehow figure this out and get through this tough time.
All right. That's a big crevasse. It started getting louder.
The earthquake has rendered the icefall unstable.
I was going to climb until I got out, or until I was dead.
And so you might ask yourself, why do people want to do this? Why do we want to climb Everest and take on these challenges? If you're going to take on a big goal and get to some level you've never been to before, you're going to have to be summit driven.
Focus on the rungs, not the drop.
And then I thought about it a little bit more and I realized maybe it's not so much about climbing out of glacial crevasses, but other crevasses in life. Things like financial troubles and health concerns. Those are the kind of crises and crevasses we're all going to encounter. So focus, trust, transform. That's what we're doing on Everest for the first 55 days before we tackle the summit, and that's what you guys are working on as well. There's big power in that. If you stay committed and you're willing to transform into something more, you can go higher than you have before and deal with bigger challenges than you have before. Think about all the challenges you've all faced in the last years, at home, at work, at school. Think about all the things you've learned and done. You get to take that with you and refine yourself and your community into a better version of what it was before and move forward and start taking on the next challenge. During my keynote, with my vivid photos and wild videos, my presentation will take your audience on an energetic journey.
In our hands, we have these. Ice tools or ice axes, various shapes and sizes, but always with a razor-sharp pick.
Now, I'm a full-time speaker. I fly around, speak to corporate groups and associations like this. And I don't know if you've accidentally gone through TSA carrying one of these. You ought to try carrying 2 of these in your luggage.
Here comes the powder blast.
This hour's other breaking story: the worst earthquake to hit Nepal in 80 years.
Dozens of climbers are waiting for rescue at Mount Everest Base Camp after a deadly avalanche. 4 Americans are among the 18 people who died in that disaster. It also left more than 100 mountaineers stranded higher up the slopes of Mount Everest.
It was a huge avalanche and a huge powder blast.
And in that moment, 71 people got hurt and 18 people got killed, making it the deadliest day ever on Mount Everest.
I think we're okay, you guys. Okay. I think we're okay. That was smaller. Just take a deep breath. I know it's scary.
Now, Emily doesn't know the answer. She doesn't know how to get down. This is an unprecedented mess. We've got 110 people here and 70 more up above us on Camp 2. 180 people trapped on the mountain in an earthquake. This has never happened before. Really, she's trying to amplify our resilience by demonstrating how we're going to behave. And you can be like Emily too. When the next big challenge comes along, or the next big difficulty, or the next big opportunity, you can get out front, be optimistic and realistic, and show how your team's going to behave to get through this situation. And really what you're trying to do is spark resilience. Spark resilience in your teammates, and by doing so, it sparks resilience back in you. You lift them up a little bit, and then tomorrow, they'll lift you up a little bit. But along with the stress can come something good. Psychiatrists call it PTG, post-traumatic growth. Literally growth after trauma. Now, this is not a cure for post-traumatic stress. It doesn't minimize it or make it go away, but post-traumatic growth can happen at the same time. You see, if you wait long enough, you start to look at the mess that happened. And from that, you can start to distill some meaning. You say, what happened? We can't bring those people back. We can't undo the pandemic or undo the earthquake, but we can learn from it. So you start to tease out some lessons, some wisdom, some things you're going to do different or better next time. And really what it is, it's a journey of transformation. In spite of that tough year, you're going to grow and you're going to do better next year. So in 2017, I went back and we did it all over again. We summited just before sunrise and got these beautiful views from the top of the mountain. What you take with you, those lessons, that's hard-won wisdom. There's always a next challenge, a next opportunity, a next Everest. And when that happens, you're going to have to do a couple things. You're going to have to embrace those challenges as a growth opportunity. You're going to have to adapt to those changes, and you're going to have to refine yourself into a better version of you over and over again. That's how you can be a better person, a better team member, and a better leader. Thanks for listening. Stay resilient.